What is up, YouTube, and welcome to finally, after months of waiting, trailers, a billion TV spots, the Rogue One movie is here. So, this is going to be my spoiler-free review. So, obviously, I want to give a review to a lot of you who haven't actually seen the film yet. There'll probably be a lot of you because, well, it's only just come out. So, what I'm going to do is a spoiler-free review later on this weekend, probably on Saturday or Sunday, and there I will discuss in more depth that end to the film and some of the cooler parts of the movie and discuss them a bit more in depth. But overall, the film was amazing. Gareth Edwards is a very, very good director and an accomplished filmmaker. Now, surprisingly, he's only really done Monsters and the Godzilla reboot before this movie, which now you would think, or you could be forgiven for thinking that he was kind of a bit of an amateur, but no, he is a very, very good filmmaker because Monsters is one of my favourite films of all time and goes to show that you can do a monster flick without actually showing a lot of the monsters, and which is what showed the AT-AT walkers in the movie and showed that they looked menacing and scary, and he can show and produce things which are menacing and scary without actually doing a full reveal, which I find a lot of the problem with modern movies is that they just show you absolutely everything without having some kind of nuance or secrecy. So this movie is very much a Star Wars fans film. So this is a pretty decent jumping in point. If you don't like the Jedis, if you don't like that whole Force part of the movie, there are parts where the Force is mentioned. Of course it will, it's a Star Wars film, it's going to be. But it's very much a kind of expanded universe movie where in the books, in the comics, and the TV shows, we showed the kind of the story from people who weren't the Jedi's, because obviously the sagas follow the Skywalker family throughout. Even Force Awakens, if you want to get into that kind of meta thing as to who is Rey's parents. But of course, Kylo Ren is technically a Skywalker, so we are only ever following that clan and that storyline. So here this is shifting the focus on to a lot of other people and shows that this is a huge universe at work and not just a family Jeremy Kyle style drama. But it was just fantastic from start to finish. Now, Jyn Erso and the girl who plays her is absolutely superb in this role. I would say she's a better actress than Daisy Ridley. I thought that she had better performances. But then again, it is hard to compare those performances because they are playing two completely different roles. One is a bitter kind of rebel, but not rebel. And then the other is someone who has hope and is wanting to go on a huge adventure, whereas this girl has been on an adventure since she was like 8 or whatever she was in the prequel part of the movie at the start. So the acting is top notch. Obviously, Alan Tudyk's turn as the droid really did steal the show, and some of the lines were his best and were just the best lines in the movie, and the comedic timing was absolutely perfect. If you can say the comedic timing of a robot droid was the best part of the movie, well, yes, you easily can. Now, some of the plot holes in the movie were a bit jarring, it was a bit convenient, but Star Wars has always kind of had plot holes, and it is a huge cinematic Hollywood popcorn movie blockbuster, so you can be forgiven, and I do forgive them for some parts of the movie which seem very convenient, but I thoroughly loved it, like I said, and sometimes I think that people get too caught up and try and be a bit pretentious and get caught up in the plot holes and let it ruin the movie and try to act all superior to the fact that, oh, this happened. But put that aside and go and enjoy it, because this is very much a World War II film. It's very much Guns of Navarone, and I think that's what Gareth Edwards said he was trying to do. He was trying to make it a World War II movie, which he has succeeded. And once the final set piece is in place, the final battle, this is better than any of the battles in any of the movies, even the Battle of Hoth, which is the gold standard in my eyes of Star Wars battles. I mean, it's better than the ones such as the prequels where they just threw CGI at it. This one just looked superb, and I think they've learned their lessons from the prequels, and the CGI and the kind of special effects that were used in The Force Awakens that made it look so real were again used here and made it look just so spot on, and made it look as timeless as A New Hope, Empire and Jedi. So if you're a fan of Star Wars, this is a must-see. This sets up the story of maybe the entire of the original 3 films. So we pretty much ends just as A New Hope is about to start. So it takes us right up to the start and examines kind of the dark side of the rebellion and shows us more of a bigger picture of that, and shows that there are people on both sides who don't really play by the rules and have done some bad things. But obviously in war that is that, and things are done. Sadly, it is war. But I think they explore those themes very, very well. And if you're new to Star Wars, like I said, this could be a very good jump-on point, because it doesn't have a lot of the Star Wars tropes. It doesn't have the Jedis, doesn't really have the Sith, apart from Darth Vader in one of the coolest scenes, I think, in all of the films. But that is it for that video. Please do drop a like. Please do subscribe. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.